I was working on the last video I put out. It was the Gold Legend Gary Payton review, saying that I wasn't going to buy any more packs because I was satisfied. And as I was rendering that video, which takes about an hour to do, I decided I was going to pass the time by playing another game of my team. And I go to start the game up. Before the tip-off starts, I get a message from my opponent telling me he's on Hoops Nation and he's a big fan. So I have to abort the process. I'm not going to be rendering the video. I'm going to have to rip out my laptop, hook it in my PVR, and record this game because I want to get as much good game footage as I can. When I get a message at the beginning of a game from somebody saying they know who I am and they're a big fan, I feel like I'm obligated to record the game because they're probably expecting to watch it, and I don't want to let people down. I know there's a small group of people that play this game very frequently, and if they frequent the forums and they happen to recognize me, I feel like I owe it to them to record a game so they can watch their gameplay and hear my commentary on it. And I'm glad I recorded this one. It's a great game. You'll see my opponent's got a lot of great players. I've got my players. I'm working Payton in the lineup, see what he can do, and you'll see it's pretty fantastic. I'm able to stop a few dunks in this game, which is kind of surprising to me, but he's also got Shawn Kemp there to provide cleanup duties. He's got Jordan, so you know this guy's been to the second seed and beaten it. So we got a great match on our hands. I'm just getting used to Payton. You saw the last game where I got all those assists with him. I'm going to see if I can get his offense going, but right then and there, I'm going to give it off to Cooper, and he's going to drain that three. If I see a three-point shooter open out there, I'm going to go to him. I took Mitch out because I wanted to add some more defense, and I think that's going to change my offense a lot because I'm not going to go and look for that three-pointer, as my go-to option. I'm just going to wait, see if I can get some dribble moves, and then if the three's open, I'm going to use that as like my second or third option as far as my offense goes. But there's Payton. He's getting stopped inside. See if I can go to the post. I know Payton's got a good post fader. Let's try this out, and that works. I'm a big fan of that. I like post play, and having a point guard that can do that is pretty exciting. I've done a lot with the Big O, and now I got Payton out there. I'm going to play with Payton for quite some time. He's been a gold legend I've been looking for a while. I finally got him, and that was enough for me to just stop buying packs, as you saw in my earlier video. Now I'm going to go inside with Payton again, and look at that layup. I'm not even doing anything special. I don't have Acrobat on him or anything like that. I do have Finisher. I don't even think Finisher was really necessary for that animation, but it's a joy to use him inside and get some points with him. Run down the court with Kemp, and boom! Kemp throws it down. Pretty exciting. This is going to be a back and forth game. I'm going to fast forward here to the end of the first. I've got Isaiah in the game, see what he can do. He's going to run inside, try his little finishing move, and that gets blocked. And I'm trying to figure out who that white guy is at point guard, and I eventually figure it out. It's John Stockton. This guy uses him pretty effectively. Got the Admiral inside, unable to stop that shot. I'm only up by one. See if I can get a late score here to increase my advantage. I'm going to run in the paint there with Isaiah. Nope, stop. Shoot that midi, and that doesn't go in. So I think I shortchanged that shot with a faster than normal release. Only a 1-point lead here starting out in the second. Gary Payton's doing some dribbling moves, and the great thing about him is he's got great handles, and he creates his own shot there and is able to get that shot off. I'm doing a better job this game figuring out how to use GP for his offense. Now, look at that, and that is why I like using him, but many times in this game you'll see that I'm able to jar the ball loose with Gary Payton, but I'm not actually able to finish the steal. That's something I have to work on. I really like him for his stealing ability, and if you've watched some of my triple-double games, and there he goes inside with another pretty finish, you'll know that I'm big on getting rebounds, assists, and points all with one player, and generally I have to force one of those. Well, I think my new challenge is going to be use Gary Payton to get the triple-double and have one of those statistics be steals, so get him 10 steals, 10 points, and 10 assists. I know I can get the points and the assists fairly easy with him, just like any other slashing point guard, but I think the steals are going to be a challenge. The most steals I've ever gotten in a game was like 6 or 7, and usually if you're trying to get steals, you're reaching a lot, and that creates fouls. Coming in the second, I actually have Iverson as my 11th man, and he's got AI on there too, so I have to show him up with his own player, which is pretty cool. You can see AI is putting on that and1 mixtape, which is really cool. He's a great player to use, but one of the things I've noticed is even though he has that 99 stamina, if if he loses that stamina, like he goes, back in like, the 90 or lower percent of his stamina rating in game, he tends to fall off a little bit. So you'll see him miss shots. People will have an easier time stealing him. But when he's fresh off the bench, he's unstoppable. I mean, he does not lose that dribble. So I think fatigue is a big factor in determining how a player handles the ball. Lou Hudson's another guy I use a lot in this game. He just drives the elbow and shoots that up. It's a miss, but many of the shots that he's going to get in this game make it in there. And Stockton, he's not going to dunk, so he's just going to pull up and lay it in. Coming up to the end of the second, I'm only up by 2. You see Iverson, he's cooking up something. He steps back, drains a long-range 2. What? Jay's in his face, and he has to go to the start menu. So I'm having a good time with Iverson. I don't even have him at a point right now. I have him at the shooting guard position, and that's really just for some added defense. Got 25 seconds left. Thinking maybe I should go to the post and take my time. But Lou Hudson's there. He does that step-up shot, and that doesn't work out. But rookie Wallace is there, and he passes right over Iverson's dome. And Hubie Davis is there for the late shot. So I should have held on to the ball and played for the last shot. I'm already down by 2. Am I going to be able to come back and get those 2 points back? Well, I'll go inside the Admiral and see what he has to offer. Double teamed. Pulls off a little post move underneath the basket, and that goes in. So I go to half with a 2-point lead. He's got Jordan back in the game, and this is pretty interesting to see how he uses him. I got the 1-3-1 going, and Jordan just shoves every player in the middle out of his way and does that monkey hanging off the trapeze dunk, which is pretty cool to watch. So he knows how to use Jordan. He uses him a lot. I go inside with GP, and that is not going to work out. GP is not the finisher that Jordan is, although I'm going to try and use him a few times in this game like he is. He gets his midi with Jordan. All right, tie game. It's time to get my offense going. So I know how he's using Jordan. I'm going to try this play out called gut double. Basically, if you look to the center of the court, both guys come out to the elbow. I've got some blocks going there, and it allows him to run around both those guys and get a dunk inside. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm able to go right back at him with his own play. But look at this. Jordan's setting up the exact same position. Look at his 2 guys at the elbows. They're coming up to set the blocks, and he's doing his own gut double. He does a spin dunk, and that doesn't work. I have to foul him and disrupt the shot. So he's doing a gut double as well. It's pretty cool. I am not a big guy that uses the playbook a lot, but I've started using it lately, and when I start using it, I notice that other players who use their playbooks have the same plays that they're running. So I go to gut double, and immediately afterwards he's going to go to gut double as well. And it's a very effective play. If you have it in your playbook, I suggest you give it a try. Kemp goes inside, and there's a strip. You can't block a dunk, but you can definitely strip a pass. McGinnis has gotten like 2 strips in a row, and back-to-back possessions is able to get inside, get the foul, and get the 2 free throws. Alright, so AI's back in the game. The AN1 mixtape's about to happen. Let's see what he does. Steps back. Penny's guarding him. See what he can do. Spinning all over the place. Had enough. He's just going to dish it inside to Hudson, and Hudson is money for mid-range. So that shot's going to be good. And I'm set up to take a healthy 6-point lead going into the 4th. I just need to get another stop, hold on to the ball, but Penny runs into the paint and gets a nice in-close shot. So now I have a 4-point lead. It's time to get some points back. Penny's trying to play his best defense, and there's Hudson open, and that's an A- shot rating. Anytime I see Hudson with some space in front of him, I'm just going to go for that shot. He's got like an 83-point rating, tons of hot zones inside the arc. So Hudson's my kind of go-to guy. And Penny playing defense on AI. Boom! Throwing it down. That was a great play by my opponent, and he knows how to use Penny really well. I think he's a leading scorer. We'll see at the end of the game. He's going to go inside. He's got Grandmama out in the court, but I've got Gary Payton out there to provide some defense. And Iverson's running inside, but Jordan with the big pickoff. And here comes the Koopa Loop, smashing it down. All right. Gary Payton's got that great pass rating. One of the things I want to try out with him, remember Iverson's pass rating something like a 77 or 78. Payton's is in the 90s. I'm going to try and get a alley-oop from the half-court line. Now I've done that in some of the games against the CPU, but I've never really done it in my team. And I think part of the reason for that is I've had some passers with less than optimal passer rating out the point guard position. One of the cool things that he has on his team is Paul Pressey. I've never really seen guys use him that much. I've tried him myself. He's a phenomenal passer, but the problem with Pressey is that he doesn't have a very good shooting rating. He can't shoot it from 3, which is what you want out of a shooting guard in this mode, based off the fact that a 3-point shot is so wet. And I think coming into the end of the game, you'll see with Pressey on the court, it kind of limits his ability. And there he gets blocked by Bill Russell. Jordan's going to go inside, see what he can do. And he's a good finisher inside. He's surrounded by 3 people and still gets that ball going. Clinging to a 3-point lead. He's got Jordan going inside to Pressey. Remember, Pressey can't get that shot off. But look at that pass right through Payton's extended arms. Back to Jordan. Pressey running inside. Triple teamed. Back out. Grandmama's dribbling around the arc. Payton with the strip. Oh, that's why I got him. That is why I covet Gary Payton, because he comes up with the clutch strip late in the game, and that changes everything. That was a big swing there. He was about to score, and now instead of him getting 2, I'm going to get 2. Cooper gets 2 chances from the 3-point line. Bill Russell says, screw that, I'm going to pass it to somebody else. So I go into Jordan with, look at that pretty move inside with a little floater. So Jordan's got a floater. I haven't really mastered Gary Payton's floater. I know it's the best in the game in my opinion. Isaiah Thomas is really good too, but I'm going to try that floater out. I just need to practice it a little more before I get to use it frequently. So Michael Cooper there has got the long mid-range shot going, and I've got a pretty good lead now. It's 8 points, but he blasts that pass right inside to Kemp and throws it down. Jordan's dribbling around there, and I've still got the 8-point lead. Let's see what he can do. Jordan, great handling ability, is able to pass it around, and there's Hondo with the midi. So he's whittling away. See if I can come up with some more stops. Jordan's running inside. Penny with another mid-range, and that doesn't work out for him. There's a little bit of contact there. I'm going to go downtown to Cooper. Nope. I'm going to pull up, and now he's getting double teamed, and he throws that pass away. Cooper's got terrible passing rating. That's probably the only thing about him that I don't really like. He can get okay passes, but nothing spectacular. I think it's like in the high 50s or low 60s, so it's definitely a liability with him. He's going to shoot that 3, and it's not going to work out, and you can tell with the time winding down, it's pretty much going to be the end of the game. I'm just running around with Russell trying to maintain some ball security and see what I can do. Gary Payton's just running around. See what I can do. Look at that dribble animation. That is very similar to what, Isaiah Thomas would do, and even Gary Payton had a dribble similar to that. So I'm pretty excited. There's a fading cheese shot by me at the end of the game to see if I can get some more points with him. Penny's going to run inside, and Bill Russell's there to disrupt it. I actually put my hands up to try and stop that. So I'm going to get a pretty good victory at the end of this game. I was really excited to play this guy, and I was glad I recorded it because it turned out to be a really good game. I think that steal that Gary Payton made towards the end of the game was really clutch, and that changed everything. Because when you're dribbling around and you have a guy that you have a lot of ball security reliance on, and the ball gets ripped away from him when he's just standing there dribbling, it really changes the way that you're going to pass the ball around. Once he altered that, I felt like it was off to the races for me. You can see Gary Payton didn't really get a lot of assists this game, but I did get his offense going, and that's why he had 12 points with only 1 turnover. And Bill Russell came up big for me with 11 rebounds, and he had a couple of putbacks with 2 blocks. George McGinnis actually led the team with 3 steals, which is really cool. And then for him, he's going to go with Penny for 16 points, and Jordan was actually really good for him as well. So thanks for watching the video. It was a great matchup, and if you play me, message me, and I'll make sure that we're recording.